With a great budget comes great box office responsibility. But should Sony Pictures blame superhero fatigue or poor word of mouth for Madame Web's financial failure? After months of ridicule, the Dakota Johnson starring superhero flick finally graced multiplexes on Valentine's Day. It doesn't seem as if audiences were feeling the love. It's been a long road for the heavily clowned Madame Web, which is set in Sony's Spider-Man universe. When the first look at the picture debuted in November 2023, viewers criticized the film's production value and dialogue, dubbing the film another Morbius-level bomb for Sony Pictures. With a modest by superhero film standards $80 million budget, Madame Web grossed just $6 million on Valentine's Day. It's not necessarily a disastrous start, especially for a C-list Spider-Man character only known to die-hard fans.
Not you again!
I still have something very important for you to do.
But as the weekend continued, it became clear. Madame Web was a big bomb at the box office. As you can see, the numbers were not good. You don't need to have the clairvoyant powers of Cassie Webb to have seen this coming. The writing has been on the wall for quite some time. Madame Web was likely never going to be a breakout bona fide hit like Sony's very own Venom, largely due to the poor reception the film was webbed up in months prior to its release.
I can see the future.
Apparently, so can we, because this movie always seems like a bomb bigger than the one in Oppenheimer. From the first look at Madame Web, it became clear that this wasn't going to pull in Venom numbers.
Oh, she didn't see that coming?
When Madame Web finally debuted, reviews eagerly chewed the film out, labeling it a forgettable mess. As of the making of this video, Sony's latest Spider-Man-less Spider-Man movie boasts a measly 14% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, making it one of the worst-reviewed superhero films in recent memory, alongside Morbius. Safe to say that most think the movie sucks.
You trying to be funny?
Looper critic Alistair Ryder was more forgiving than most other members from the press, labeling it a campy good time. But even if there was humor to be found in the train wreck, Ryder was still unimpressed with the picture, writing, "It's a frustrating case of a film neither living up to its potential as an uncomplicated so bad it's good romp, nor capitalizing on its unique moments to become something that transcends the franchise it's encased in." Audiences who showed up on opening night were equally displeased with Dakota Johnson's latest.
I have proof!
They gave it a C+ cinema score, which might as well be a death sentence for a big-budget superhero blockbuster. And as the disastrous opening weekend numbers confirm, this film won't have the spider legs to be a triumph at the box office because of poor word of mouth and overwhelmingly negative reviews. Those eager to spend the weekend at the cinemas had far better options in the form of the fan-favorite biopic Bob Marley: One Love, or the enduring romantic comedy Anyone But You. Some might say that any press is good press, but that isn't true for a film that carries an $80 million budget before marketing, and likely needs a $200 million plus showing to be considered a financial success. As soon as the first look at Madame Web hit the internet, trolls, jokesters, and even members of the press began to ridicule the picture. Within hours of its release, one line in particular went viral.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
The combination of a line just a smidge too packed with exposition and Johnson's drab delivery turned it into comic gold, becoming the subject of several memes. And while the line didn't end up making it into the finished film, it's just one example of how social media turned Madame Web into a laughingstock months before release. As social media continues to make or break films, general audiences are eager to see what online buzzes before a film's release. If all they're seeing is negativity and trolling, chances are they'll take their dollars elsewhere, no matter how much brand recognition a film has. And for what it's worth, Madame Web does have brand recognition. Sort of. The film's trailer doesn't shy away from emphasizing how it's a story deeply rooted in the Spider-Man mythos. Beyond that, the film boasts two leading talents in the form of Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney. While the former isn't a major box office draw, the latter is a rising star who has proven that she can get butts into theaters. The success of the $170 million Anyone But You proves that. Of course, it doesn't seem she was able to pull it off here. Anyone But You succeeded, but for most audiences, Madame Web was anything but this.
Get up. Get off, get off. Get up. Me? Go. Get off. You're gonna die if you stay here.
It's one thing for audiences to turn on a movie, but it's another for its lead star to not so subtly point out just how disappointing their latest effort is. As press junkets for Madam Web got underway, Dakota Johnson was pretty brutally honest about the current state of the film industry, strategically throwing jabs at the superhero pick. While chatting with Entertainment Weekly, she discussed how working with the film's use of blue screen was jarring. There's fake explosions going off and someone's going, "Explosion!" and you act like there's an explosion. That to me was absolutely psychotic. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be good at all. I hope that I did an okay job. When it came time to perform her opening monologue on Saturday Night Live, Johnson described the film as,
So it's kind of like if AI generated your boyfriend's perfect movie.
while it's not uncommon for an actor to joke about or even poke fun at one of their films,
After Batman and Robin came out, it was a big bomb,
Was it?
You kind of learn. You learn from your failures. You don't learn from successes.
Johnson's deadpan demeanor sure made it seem like she actively didn't appreciate the experience.
You don't have to know anything about anything at all to watch this movie.
And there's reason to believe that we're not reading too much into that. Variety says that Johnson ditched her agency days after the film's first trailer debuted, a move that the outlet said raised industry eyebrows. And while speaking with Planet Radio, Johnson revealed that she hadn't watched the film and didn't plan to anytime soon.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, wow.
It's going to jinx it.
No.
I don't want to talk about it.
Did Johnson's comments impact the film's box office? Probably not, but they definitely added to a general vibe that something was wrong in the state of Sony.
Did I die?
The last year has been nothing short of disastrous for the superhero genre. Following the highs of Avengers Endgame and Aquaman, the genre hasn't been able to reach the same prolific heights. Since 2021's Spider-Man No Way Home, no superhero flick has crossed over $1 billion, and it doesn't look like the genre will return to those glory days anytime soon. Last year, Marvel Studios dealt with failures in the form of The Marvels and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, with their streaming offerings receiving mixed to negative reviews. DC didn't have any winners either, receiving back-to-back-to-back bombs thanks to Shazam: Fury of the Gods, The Flash, and Blue Beetle. Financial receipts show that the superhero genre is following a downward trend, with audiences actively rejecting the latest releases in favor of bolder films like Barbie, Oppenheimer, and Wonka. Sony Pictures is in a particularly peculiar position, as it only has the rights to Spider-Man adjacent characters, which means they have to make do with B and C-list characters to form their own cinematic universe. But seeing as major superhero films like the Marvels are bombing because of increasing disinterest, was Sony right to invest $80 million in Madam Web, a character that only diehard fans know?
I have always really loved Marvel movies.
Probably not. The opening weekend confirms that the film doesn't have much wide appeal to general audience members. The superhero gold rush is over, and Sony should know that by now. The days of B-list characters like Shang-Chi and the Guardians of the Galaxy grossing over $220 million worldwide are done, and it's time for Sony to go back to the drawing board. That is, unless the upcoming Kraven film can somehow find audience success. Who knows? Stranger things have happened in comic book movie history.